I don't care, really. I'm interested in the way we played tonight. I thought we did extremely well. I thought we played well. We showed that when we do fire, that I think we're probably the best team in the competition when we fire. If our batsmen fire at the top, I think tactically, I think our field settings, the way we play, with our spinners and that as well in the middle, I think we're as good as anyone in the competition. If we had, unfortunately, our batsmen just haven't fired through the competition. If Watson had one or two more innings like that, Ross Taylor had one or two more innings, we would probably be in the first or second. We won 6 games in a washout. We win one or two more games, we're right up the top. So disappointed for us the way we played the last 3 or 4 games, but I thought the way we finished today, we went out to say to everyone, you know what, we've tried as hard as we can. We just haven't quite clicked at certain times, but when we can turn it on, we can show the way we played. At this time of the tournament, it's all about momentum, and I think Bangalore are probably the standout side, but I don't really care because we're not in it.
Shane, pretty fair, and perhaps you would have loved to have this cap of 10.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? I think the one thing I said to the guys today, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be remembered for my 20-year career over one game. It's about the way you've played the game over a long period of time. So either way, it didn't matter. I just wanted to say to our guys, play with freedom, go out and just play the way you can play. Enjoy it, have a smile on our face the whole time. I know we're all disappointed by the way we have played the last 3 or 4 games because we're such a better side than that, which we showed for the first, I think, 9 games. We'd won 5 in a washout, only lost a couple. So their last 3 games in the middle there, we've played really poorly, mainly with the bat. But that's 2020, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. So I'm really proud of the guys, the way they've conducted themselves on and off the field. No one was silly sledging or they didn't embarrass themselves or anything like that. They've actually just gone out, played. Some days they played well, some days we didn't. And it was just nice to go out on a high the way for the team, not for me. It didn't really matter what happened today personally. It was all about the team and just letting them play the way they want to play. What I've been trying to instill in them over 6 weeks, that we've done glimpses, we've done patchy. But I was really proud of the way, as I said, I think if we play and bat like we did tonight, I think we're the best side in the competition. Whose innings? Oh, fantastic. It just showed his class. I mean, you could argue that if he's not the best batsman in the world at the moment, who is? So I think he's in the top couple of batsmen in the world at the moment when he's on song. He apologised to me about 3 or 4 times tonight already, saying, sorry, I couldn't do it early in the last few games, sorry. I said, mate, it happens. That's just the way. Don Bradman couldn't even do it. So no matter how good you are, you're going to have a few failures. But, I think his confidence was pretty high after making, 180 in Bangladesh and coming here, that he was disappointed with himself. But I'm really proud of Shane Watson. Very, very proud of the way he's conducted himself and his work ethic, the way he's conducted himself around the group. Even though he wasn't playing as well as he would have liked, he's still been great around the group and helping the youngsters.
Because Shane, in the final analysis, how do you look at those defeats at home, which eventually affected your overall standing in the team?
Yeah, the last few games at home when we lost was really disappointing. They were very disappointing to lose the last couple of games at home, which could have made the difference between making the finals and not. But, the competition's about 14 games. All we had to do was play better for 1 or 2 games, and that would have been 17 points or something like that, which would be probably first, second, in the top 4, of course, confirmed. Because I think Kolkata play Mumbai, so one of them's going to end up on 16. So we would have been in the finals for sure. So, that's just the way 2020 goes. For me, I've had a thoroughly enjoyable tournament for 6 weeks. I've probably surprised myself about how good I've actually bowled all right. When you don't play for 12 months, you're a little bit apprehensive about how am I going to bowl here. But to come out and bowl the way I have, I felt really proud of the way I bowled this tournament. I bowled pretty well. The retirement's got nothing to do with the way I'm bowling. It's just that I'm 42 years of age. I've been with the Royals for 4 years, and it's time to move on and play some more poker and my charity and businesses and look after my kids and do other things.
So, does that mean you're planning to come back to the IPL next year as a coach?
Yeah, I 100% won't be here as a coach for the entire tournament. There's no point being here for 7 weeks. I may as well play. So there's no point being here for 7 weeks. I may as well keep playing. But I can see myself in a consultancy sort of role, whether it be for 10 days pre-tournament Maybe a week in the middle or a week at the end. Maybe it's a few days. Maybe it's just in the middle at the end. It might not be at the start. That might be with the Rajasthan Royals. You know, I've had 4 years with them. So they might think, you know, it's time now for somebody else, a new injection of someone a bit different, with some different ideas. They might want still me. I'm not sure. So in the next 12 months, I might be associated with somebody else. You know, who knows what will happen, and that's something I'll talk to our owners. Obviously, Royals are my first priority, but if I can't come to an agreement with them, then I'll look elsewhere to see whether it's whatever team. If they want to have me for a week or so. If they don't, I'll play another poker tournament and watch on the telly. But look, the IPL I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it's a great tournament. You know, I think we've won the second most games out of any team over 4 years, so that's a proud record. I also think the way that Rajasthan Royals has promoted Indian young talent, you know, I think if you look through the 4 years, there's probably 6 or 7 players that were young that no one would give a game to, and we gave them an opportunity, and now they've become very good cricketers. So I'm pretty proud of what we've achieved at the Royals, because I think at the end of the day, the IPL is about promoting young cricketers in India. So I think that's what it's all about, and I think we've done probably better than any other team in the competition with that. And as captain coach, I'm pretty proud of that. To win the second most games, I think, behind Chennai with the teams we've had for 4 years, I think is an outstanding effort from all of our guys in the squad. So I sit here today after not playing anymore and not going to play again, that I'm pretty proud of the way the Rajasthan Royals have played over the last 4 years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this year.
Skipper, we know that you have had many pleasant memories of the IPL. If I ask you to choose a few, what would they be?
It's pretty hard to go past 2008, isn't it? You know, no one knew what to expect at the IPL. Like, what is all this going to happen? Auctions, franchises, massive money for players for 6 weeks' work? What's going on? And that was what sort of lured me out of retirement, to say, well, this looks pretty cool to be involved. And I think the way that Lalit Modi did it, his baby, it was razzmatazz, it was all about the players. And I thought he did a great job. So I think I look back over 2008 and... you know, we played some phenomenal cricket through there, and it was all new. And you know, it's when something's new and fresh, and you're not sure what to do, and you're trying to be a step ahead of the opposition. Like, I think, you know, we were the first one to open the bowling with spin, so we came up with so many new ideas, and everyone's copied, which is sort of nice in a way. It's a backhanded compliment, but yeah. Look, well, I thought the way 2008 was wonderful. When we beat Mumbai in Durban, I think it was Durban. You know, I did my hamstring. And I was up all night icing to our physios, then got up and bowled to the owners as my fitness test, which gave my confidence a big lift. Beating Mumbai Indians in that game, winning in the last over, was a great game. But you know, it's about the friendships and the memories of just playing. It's nothing individual. I've got no individual memories, nothing personal. All about the team and the way the team has played. That's what I'll take with us. The 2008 victory, the friendships that I've made, both on and off the field, made some of the business opportunities that are on the table now from some Indian companies, which I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time here in India with my businesses. But I look through the IPL with fondness, and something that I wish and hope that the International Cricket Board, ICC, would say there's no international cricket for 6 weeks. Every player is available to play, and that'll help break down the barriers in world cricket about sledging and all those sorts of things. Everyone's friends. I think it's got a lot of good in the IPL, so hopefully that continue.
Said that, you know, he still credits you for his resurgence, and the first 3 years you guys had to set a dressing room. This year obviously the team changed. So somewhere now that you're bowing out, do you wish that some of those teammates were here with you?
Of course, I wish they were all here. You know, Jadeja, Yusuf, Tanvir, you know, you go through Michael Lum, etc., etc., you know, Veltati. You talk about all of it, but what we have to understand is this is the new cricket. This is the way cricket is now. There's franchises, there's team owners, there's big money for players. So I think as long as you keep the nucleus of the team the same, the fans, and we all have to get used to that, there's going to be some players playing some different teams. That's just the way it is. And I think it's good because all the players playing under different captains and mixing with different players, they'll always improve. As long as, you know, there's not 10 different players every year. But I think the IPL is very, very good for Indian cricket, and I think it's good for world cricket. So, of course, you'd love someone like Yusuf to be coming at number 5 or 6 would be pretty handy. But you know, I think the Royals will be very good next year. You know, if the international boys fire, guys like Rahane, Manaria, Rahul plays well at the top. You know, young Ankit Chauhan, who opened the bowling bowl beautifully today, probably had Sachin out twice. So that worked. You know, and I think with a mixture of experience and youth we've got, another 12 months of some of our young players are playing to cricket, then I think the Royals will be, I think they can go all the way next year.
Shane, you called it petty and silly on the hindsight looking at the recent incident that happened. But deep down, do you feel it's completely unfair and you feel aggrieved that while you've been handed out a fine of $50,000 someone who had written a slanderous piece on your website, the rules are such that the administrator got away with basically, unpunished.
Yeah.
So how much of that affects you that it's completely unfair for you from one side and somebody just walks away?
Do I really need to say anything? I think you just summed it up, didn't you? Do I have to say anything to that? Look, what I will say on that is that we got told we weren't allowed to make comment. So I think he's made comment, hasn't he, the last couple of days? So hopefully he might get in trouble for going against what the orders were. So I don't want to get into too much because I've been a good boy. But at the bottom line, we both said exactly the same things. We both called each other exactly the same names. So to me, it was a little bit immature from both sides, and we both should have just probably done it in private. But for me to cop the fine and him to get away scot-free and still be able to talk and nothing's happening to him, I think you summed it up pretty well.
You said IPL is all about nurturing Indian cricketers.
Yep.
Do you endorse the idea of increasing the number of foreign players in a team?
Well, I put it to Lalit I think it was either South Africa year 2 or year 3. I remember sitting and he picked my brain and asked me a couple of questions of what I thought could happen. I actually thought there should be 2 super rounds where you could play 5 internationals. Just for 2 rounds. 2 super rounds in the middle of the tournament. So some teams might have not have played well and an extra international might help them get back up. Some teams might not want to do it. So it's just another little thing in there that could be a real dangle of the carrot and exciting. So I think 2 super rounds to start with, have 5. And then if people like it and they think it works, then maybe next year, the year after, you might have 3 super rounds. You know, 1 every 4 games sort of thing. So I think you can play around with that idea. I think it's a good idea just for a couple of games.
Last 2 questions.
Make them good for my last 2 ever. Then I'll never have to officially talk to anyone. Anyway, yes. Hang on, I've got one here.
Now that you're leaving, who do you see taking up the leadership and the captaincy for the Rajasthan Royals? Who would your pick be for the captain?
Well, we're very lucky. We've got Rahul Dravid, who's been a wonderful captain. Shane Watson, who's just been vice-captain of Australia. Bota and Taylor will probably be captain of their countries in certain forms of the game. So there's a lot of options. I think what the owners will have to do is, do they want to employ a full-time coach and then have a captain? Or does the captain still want to be captain coach like I was? And I think that'll dictate who the person is. The good thing is that all 4 of them could do it. So whichever way the owners want to do, if they've got a strong coach, then, because I believe you need a coach at first-class cricket, IPL and grade cricket, junior cricket, you need coaches. They're very, very important. IPL, you need a coach too. As international cricket, they're good enough. It's all about captain and man managing. You don't need a coach to tell you get your arm up when you're playing international cricket. But in IPL and things like that, I think it's very important. So depending which way the Royals go, if they want a full-time coach, strong person, then maybe you might have a not a strong vocal captain. They might have a quiet coach. They need a more vocal captain. So that's up to them to just decide whichever way they want. Someone might put their hand up and do both. I don't know.
You going down under for Big Bash? There's a lot of talk that they want you down under to come from Big Bash T20 down under.
They wanted David Warner, wasn't it? Was it a mistake? Do they still want me? I thought it was David Warner, not Warne. No, it was me? Well, no one's approached me, no one's rang me, no one's asked me anything. So this is my last game. I'm not playing again. But in my life, I never say never, because my life has been pretty weird at times. So, you know, whatever happens, I at this stage right now, I'm never going to play another game. So unless something happens at the Big Bash that I haven't thought of, or if someone rings me, I suppose I'll think it over and probably go, that could be fun. No. But look, in my life now, I don't think I've ever been happier in my entire life. My kids, you know, my last ever game was my son's birthday today, who turned 12. So it's quite ironic that my last ever game was my son's birthday, and I spoke to him just before I got here. So my kids are 14, 12 and 10. My personal life, I'm happier than I've ever been. Business-wise, I've got 3 or 4 business and companies at the moment that are going great. I've got 2 or 3 more on the table. I'm in the middle of setting up a free cricket academy that young spinners and captains can come to. We're just sort of negotiating where it should be, whether it be Dubai, India, that any spinner can come for free. Won't cost them a cent. So I'm looking for sponsors and things like that. My charity, my foundation, which I'm chairman of, we've raised over $5 million for seriously ill and underprivileged children. So I'll continue to do that. Spend time with my children, bit of time with Elizabeth, which will be pretty cool, and see what happens. Plenty of poker and, you know, have some fun and smile after 1988, 89 beginning in the state squad, which was what, 24 seasons ago. That's a long time, man. That's a lot of warm-ups. Notice we don't warm up, so it's a lot of warm-ups, a lot of balls bowled. But thanks very much for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me play. Thanks.